Alright guys, what's going on? This is HD Starcraft and I'm back for Game 2 from DreamHack Summer 2013. In the quarterfinals, we have the red Zerg player in the bottom right hand corner. His name is StarTaleLife and he is a phenom, an amazing Zerg player. I would actually say right up there with Jaedong, if not better. He's definitely got more accomplishments in Heart of the Swarm, that's for sure. And in StarCraft 2, not Heart of the Swarm, excuse me. In StarCraft 2, he's got a lot more accomplishments than Jaedong does, but that's of course because Jaedong is a Brood War player. Anyways, he is going to be in the red Zerg in the bottom right-hand corner of Belshir Vestige. This is Game 2, and his opponent is the Swedish Terran property Sjow, BB2. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah, he is going to be the blue Terran in the top left-hand corner of Belshir Vestige. And I gotta say, the last game was a really good showing by Sjow. Good showing by Sjow. He's really talented. And I just don't really know how he was able to pull off such really good micro, you know, and he was attacking with these Hellbat drops, even though he wasn't doing that much damage. He was really only roasting up Zerglings. He never really killed off a lot of drones. He still had the wherewithal to get the macro CC back up at home and have that supply just constantly pumping through his barracks, and he was able to keep up a very good supply amount. It was just a bit unfortunate that he lost the micro war in the middle of the map when it was kind of both sides were sending in reinforcements into Akalon Waste, and they were trying to take control of the middle of the map. It just ended up being that that the Terran lost, that Sjow lost, and you know, Life was able to win. Now, you know, that's because Life, obviously, you know, he's very good, but I think also that Sjow has the ability here to play a really good game, a really close game with Life, as you guys can see from the first game. I'm hoping here that Game 2 will bring out that skill level, and I'm actually really crossing my fingers hoping for a long game here. This is a decent map for it. We'll see what happens. Life is going for a natural expansion, and he's got a spawning pool. And our Swedish Terran player has a refinery back at home, so he will be going with a Reaper opening. And I believe he opened up with Reapers last game as well. It's kind of a preference thing. Some Terrans like the Reaper opening. For example, you almost never see Tasia doing the Reaper opening. He's more of a, I play the classical Terran style, CC. He loves playing late game, obviously. Tasia's strength is in the late game, but there's nothing bad with going for an early Reaper. In fact, it's really good because you can scout. You don't really lose the Reaper. It's hard to lose it, at least. You don't need a tech lab anymore for it, which is the main reason why they've come to prominence. And it's really the easiest and cheapest and most effective way for Terran to scout now. And you can see the Reaper is going to come up to the ramp, but there are 4 Zerglings there that somehow just managed to be in the right spot at the right time. And of course now Reapers, they only do 5 damage per shot, so it takes a while for them to even kill off Zerglings. You can see here it's a little bit of a micro war between the Zerglings and the Reaper. Until Life can get a queen out. And in fact, he might even kill this Reaper. Oh, nope, the Reaper will get the Zergling instead. And of course, now Sjow can just pull it out and allow it to go ahead and heal itself through its combat regeneration. And let's see here, StarTaleLife here is going to be no gassing, actually. Not going to be going for an early Zerg speed. That was another reason why he was able to take control in the mid game. In Game 1 is because he had that early Zerg speed. He was able to get the surrounds off. And that helped immensely, but this time it looks like Life is going to be playing a macro game straight up, more drones, more hatcheries. I think he's going to go for a 3rd hatchery. No, he's going to go for double gas right now, and he's going to try to get his gas going. So there it is. Meanwhile, we do have an armory coming up from Sjow. It looks like we are going to see the Hellbat opening once again. And all signs pointing to a starport following up here, because typically, as Terran, when you open up Hellbats, you don't want to neglect the starport, because if you forget to get that, really the Hellbats just by themselves at this early stage aren't that scary. They're scary when they can fly in as well and drop into your mineral line. That's what makes them so effective, at least early in the game. So I do believe we will be seeing Sjow go for a starport pretty soon here, although I mean, I could be mistaken. No, there it is. The starport's coming up right now, and we are going to be seeing Hellbat drops from Sjow, which is a perfectly valid strategy pre-nerf. They are still very, very good. And we can see the Hellbats are on the way right now. And, you know, first game, Life defended against these Hellbats almost impeccably. He didn't have any issues. He lost some Zerglings, but more importantly, he didn't lose any drones. And that's what he's going to have to do again here in Game 2. In order to pull a victory here, I think. And here comes some Hellions. They are going to leak on by through the Queens. They're going to go right into the natural expansion. And who needs Hellbats when you've got Hellions car mode engaged? And it looks like 4 or 5 drones are going to go down here. Not a bad job at all from Sjow, and he's going to actually go right into the main base as well with 3 Hellions still alive. Roaches are on the way, and until these Roaches come out, these Hellions are going to be able to do a lot of damage, and at least 7 or 8, maybe 10 drones in total have gone down due to these Hellions. Oh my god! And life with, I mean, a little uncharacteristic, I feel like. I'm not sure how he let that just straight happen. He didn't have a Queen blocking the ramp, and you kind of just let those Hellions run right on by, and that is a terrible way to start Game 2. If you are Startail Life, you are now, you would have been up like 20 or so supply, but you're only up by 10 now, just barely for a Zerg. He's actually got less drones than the Terran player has. SCVs, never a good point, and we even have Hellbats on coming in from that medevac. Meanwhile, it looks like Sjow now realizing, hey, all I gotta do is bunker up this front door and make sure I don't die to a counterattack, and I'm going to be able to capitalize on my advantage. Gonna bring SCVs out to the bunker to try to keep it alive. There are some Roaches out here, but with the Marauders and the Hellbats there and the bunker, I find it highly unlikely that that bunker will go down. And now Sjow gets into the main base with his Hellbat drop, and without any Roaches here, since they're all at the front door, these Hellbats can actually do a lot of damage. Don't forget there's a medevac in the back healing it as well. Queen trying to get rid of that medevac, of course. Zergling's coming in as well. Looks like the Hellbat will go down. Meanwhile, the front door is fortified for Sjow, so Sjow looking pretty good here, even though he did lose that Hellbat, the drop, and the medevac. He was able to keep his front door alive. He survived the counterattack, and honestly, I think just like Game 1, things are looking very good for the Swedish Terran. He's just got to be able to close it out, and we'll see what he does this time around. Hopefully he doesn't get too caught up in the middle of the map and get surrounded by the Zerg army that Life put on the field. As you guys can see, Life is a very, very good Zerg, so we'll see what happens. Here comes Sjow once again with a double Hellbat drop. He's gonna try to get into the main base, but Zerglings are there once again. Startail Life is on top of it, and he is not going to lose any more drones. He's already lost enough. And I think he's sick and tired of losing drones due to fire, and he is going to do his damnedest to keep them alive. Meanwhile, Sjow coming out with this ragtag biological army, a little bit of each. Two Marines, 2 Marauders, and 2 Hellbats. Actually, scratch it. There's a 3rd Marine there. Extra Marine just for giggles. And here comes that medevac coming back home. Meanwhile, more Zerglings and Roaches at the front here for the Zerg player, and a new command center coming out for Sjow as he wants to obviously get this 3rd base down and saturate it and get things going over there so that he can get that extra base over the Zerg player. And I think both of these guys now have come to the point where they've got to realize, all right, I'm gonna sit back now and play it safe. And that's what I was kind of getting at in the first game. I thought Sjow was gonna sit back and he was gonna play it safe. And I thought both players were going to. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, Sjow is pushing out here with his army. And I think that's why he lost game 1. I think he was a little bit preemptive in his push. And it ended up costing him a little bit. We do have another Hellbat drop going on here at the natural expansion. Unlikely that this is going to do much damage. Looks like that was once again cleaned up by a horde of Zerglings and Roaches. Looking at the upgrade tab, both players still working on their upgrades. +1/+1 for both sides are about to finish up though. So they will have about the same upgrades. We do have Baneling speed on the way as well as a Spire for Life. And Sjow now incorporating some Widow Mines into his army. And I guess this is the I guess Show's playstyle in Terran versus Zerg. It's a little bit unorthodox. It's like a mixture of everything. You get a little Widow Mine, Hellbat, Marine, and Marauder, and you back it all up with some medevacs, and we'll see how this plays out here. And it's kind of hard when you stretch your army between mech and bio like that. But Terran players have been doing it for years with siege tanks and Marines. But he is trying to pump basically out of factories and barracks at the same time here. So we'll see what happens here as Banelings are now being added on for Startail Life. And let's see how many Banelings there are on the map right now. There are Actually, 9 Baneling Cocoons on the way, so those will be the first Banelings that are going to be joining the field. Here comes Sjow, though, and we are about to see some blood that will get spilled here on Belshir Vestige as both armies are set to collide. It looks like Sjow coming around the back, though, is going to try to pincer the Zerg. This is typically a Zerg strategy. Banelings are coming in, though, but the Sentinel missile detonates and hits the home run. Knocks it out of the ballpark, killing all the Banelings in one shot. That was the Miracle Mine. And now Sjow's gonna be able to kill off this hatchery. Oh my god, Sjow is in a fantastic spot. And he's going to be able to reinforce his position without too much fear about, repercussions, because he's got a wall set up at this expansion. He doesn't really have much of a defense here except for a bunker, but nevertheless, he's got an army just situated in the middle of the map. Let's see what happens here in Game 2. Will he lose again to Life's Surround? Life is coming in here, but Life has 8 mutas on the way. I think he should have waited for his Mutalisk. Not too sure why he went in before his mutas popped out, and that is going to end up hurting him had he had those 8 Mutalisks on the field, which I believe I saw 8. Yeah, there we are. Had they been in the engagement at the same time, I'm sure he would have won that battle, but now all of a sudden he goes in 2 different waves. Will he be able to win the fight now in the second engagement, bringing in the Mutalisk? I don't think so. Sjow just has too many Marines here. He's got Stim Pack and combat shields and a bunch of medevacs, and these Marines are just getting so cost effective against the Zerg army. Really, each Marine only costs 50 minerals. These mutas cost 100 apiece, and Life is forced to engage at his ramp. He can't hold it off, and well won, calls Startail Life. In fact, there was another drop going on in the back of the main base too, as Sjow dropped off a pack of Marines and Widow Mines back here. So Sjow is all over the place and able to win Game 2 against Startail Life. Very, very good job by Sjow. We'll see what happens in Game 3, which, by the way, guys, I'm told is the best game of this set. So stay tuned, and this is HD signing out.